with our guest this morning, a member of the United Party for National Development. He's the Lusaka District Information and Publicity Secretary in Matomola Likwanya. Good morning. Welcome to the Weekend Marathon.
Good morning, comrades.
No, thank you for joining us. Good morning. Good morning. Like Chimeka has said of what happened on Thursday, I heard you on another interview where you were talking about how there isn't actual confirmation that these are UPND members, but many have stated that they are UPND members. How far have you gone with finding out on how many members of the UPND were involved in this hooliganism that we saw?
Okay, thank you so much. I want to first of all categorically mention to you that you have heard the president countless times, numerous times, even on the day of his inauguration speech. He mentioned it times without number that UPND has taken a position of non-violence. UPND has taken a position of being against Caderism. There was an instruction by the president that no one will occupy bus stations, markets. There will be no political party structures and flags flying on bus stations and at markets. That has been maintained from the time that we formed the government. That is what the members, the general populace, the members of the UPND have followed. So, to this day, that is what stands, and that is the position of UPND. He has also made it clear that if any member of the party finds themselves in violence, crimes, and everything, they are on their own. That is why you have seen that the UPND has taken a stance of even disciplining its own members that are found wanting before the face of the law. So on this point, on this event of the city market incidents, it is entirely up to the police to give us a report. But I'm so glad, comrade, that to this day the police have not given a report that the people that were found in that fiasco are UPND members. And I'm glad you have even mentioned it, that they are suspected. From our side, we have failed to even locate a single person that we can call that this person is a UPND member. But what we gathered on the ground when we went there to also see the extent of the damage of the buses that were destroyed, we discovered that there are two groupings of people that rose against each other that took advantage of the lead of the immigration office, the immigration department that was inspecting Rwandanese shops, those that do not have permits. So for me, it was a pure case of thuggery, theft, junks that decided to take advantage of that situation where Rwandanese were even scampered in leaving their shops in fear of the immigration office.
Obviously, just in correction to what I said earlier, so it's about 5 out of 10 suspects that were apprehended from this. But what also stands out, issues of hooliganism. Yes, the president spoke about it in his inauguration speech, but probably you would agree that that has not been done away with, because there's still people out there who are masquerading themselves as UPND supporters. Probably they are, because one would question, where would someone get the courage to do something like that and go ahead despite knowing what the consequences are? And why I say this is not the only situation where people have had concern. We heard of a similar situation recently even on the Copper Belt. People were interrupting broadcasts. I know that's out of your jurisdiction as Lusaka District IPS, but the bottom line is that people are still complaining about these issues of Caderism, even in some of these markets that we talk about in the Central Business District.
The issue that is there, comrade, is that in any given organization, you have dissidents, you have members that sometimes will defy the orders which has been set by the top leadership. I will not take away the fact that in as much as UPND and the president and the entire leadership has taken a position against Caderism, there are one or two people that would want to take the law in their own hands. This is where, as a party now, we employ and confide in the Zambia police to do their job. You realize that in the previous administration, our friends were complaining that their powers have been stripped off and that cadres were more powerful than them. But under the new Dawn government, the police has been given power to arrest anyone regardless of their political party affiliations. Our members have been arrested, have been disciplined. Not so long ago here in Lusaka, you saw some guy wearing a UPND t-shirt who was harassing a police officer. That person was arrested. In Mukushi, on the Copper Belt, you have seen now our people, our own members, the police have been able to decisively deal with them. So from our side as UPND, we encourage the police to be vigilant, because the president has given them power to deal with members of the ruling party, also to deal with members of the PF, to deal with members of the opposition. Anyone is not above the law. The thing that is there, comrades, is that there are people that are trying to tarnish the image of the party by means of masquerading as a UPND, because it is very difficult for you to know who is a genuine member of the party when any person can put on a UPND regalia, go on the street and commit crimes. This is why we now engage the police, because the police have got criminal investigative officers, the CIOs.
But you see what also becomes a concern now is that we've heard this before. We've heard situations before where people would go out there, would be unruly, would wear party regalia, and this was very, very synonymous with the Patriotic Front. But every single time would have the government speak out, party members speak out, that these are not members of the party, they're just masquerading, they're just wearing PF t-shirts, and they'll easily distance themselves from that. Despite you as the opposition being on firm ground and being solidly saying, these are members of the Patriotic Front. Here you are now, tables have turned, and you're the same people who are doing exactly what would happen previously. And people wonder, where is the difference really?
No, comrade, we are not doing the same, because
you're clearly distancing yourself from
the incidents that happened, actually, when you look at any footage around, you check around as journalists, you will not find a footage of any person wearing a UPND regalia in that act. One. Secondly, when these incidences were happening, we didn't have people chanting slogans or being captured or saying that they are UPND members. What we know and what is on the record, checks your social media and everything, we are seeing people taking advantage of Rwandanese that were running away from the immigration officers. What happened on that day, comrade, is that Rwandanese who do not have permits to be in Zambia, those that are illegally trading and so forth and so on, were running away from the immigration office. They left their shops. That, accelerated the situation to a large extent that thugs from Chiboria took advantage of that situation and started doing the same. When you look at the video there, you will not find our members there. But what you are going to find is that there is a story that there are two groups of people purported from Matero that rose against each other, and this is a beef and a scenario that happened and has been happening. These groups have been rising against each other. The councillor of that ward, Masauso Ngoma, he spoke. He was there on the scene, and he also gave this statement that I'm giving. But in order to just sum it up, we are saying that as UPND, if you commit crimes, you are on your own. That has been demonstrated. Our own people have been arrested who have gone against the law, and the president is against that, and the party. That is the position that we have taken.
Yes, you have mentioned that you've been against this hooliganism, and even if it's party members, they will face the law. But we do continue to see it. Even with you denying these party structures, it might not be official where they're coming out in party regalia. But there have been reports from actual conductors in these bus stations that continue to say that UPND, yes, they're harassed by UPND members. The control should be from your side. Is this where you're failing to maybe control some of your members?
It shouldn't be from our side. You know what it is? There is a separation between the political party and investigative agencies like the police, the law enforcement agencies like the police. Because you have covered a lot of bus conductors in markets and in bus stations who have spoke to journalists and says there are people, Wakadas who are doing this to us. It is a duty of the police, because do you know, Comrade Vida, my reader, do you know that in each bus station there are police officers that are there? When you go in Rima Tower, you find police officers there. So these police officers are the ones that are supposed to work together with the community, citizens. And it is a duty of every well-meaning citizen to report such matters to the police.
But don't you think
because even ourselves as a party, we do the same.
Don't you think it becomes difficult for members of the public, or for the police rather, because probably they fear that these individuals are connected politically, and eventually this could even jeopardize their work and might lose jobs, because these are people who are connected to the party leadership and they have a blessing from the party leadership, hence why the police cannot even effectively do their job.
They don't have a blessings from the party. I can tell you that officially, speaking here, communicating the official position of the party, I can tell you that the party is not condoning such acts of hooliganism. And that is the reason why the police have been given the full power to operate. In the previous administration, the police complained, like I said, of not operating, that cadres became more powerful than them. But at this particular time, comrade, you have seen how our own members, our own party members, have been disciplined, have been thrown in cells, either on theft or corruption or misbehavior or violence. That has happened. So for us, we have demonstrated that we are not shielding wrongdoers. The last month and the other months, you saw the Minister of Local Government, Honorable Garin Kombo, moving in markets, assuring marketeers and bus conductors and drivers that there will be no political party structures that will be in markets and bus stations. Last year, in 2021 and in the previous administration, there were flags that were flying on top of a bus station, flags that were flying on top of a market, to show dominance that we are in the ruling party. But as we are speaking now, UPND, in terms of party mobilization, UPND is not mobilizing, it has not created structures in bus stations. We have reverted back to the original system of governance, where you have got what we call market committees that are under the WGF, which is under the council. We also have market corporations. In cooperative, sorry, in each market there is a cooperative.
All this that you've created has led to some of your party members complaining on others benefiting more than some would. Don't you think this is also addition, because some are viewed to be benefiting from the sort of structures that have been created, even as you're saying, it's driven away from party structures in bus stops and all that. These cooperatives that you're advising that some members have created, others have viewed them as a benefit for some and some not.
Here are people who have been in the opposition for 20 years. They saw their friends benefiting from markets as cadres. They saw their friends benefiting from bus stations as cadres. So others maybe had a mind that they would be benefiting the same with how their friends in the previous administration were benefiting. So we have instituted many programs in terms of mindset change to tell them to say the legal way of getting money is this. The legal way of empowerment is this, because the political party will not draw money from government as it was in the previous administration. Government funds must be for government, and if you and me as citizens, we need to benefit from that. We need to follow the legal channels. For example, there is increased allocation of CDF. People are told to form cooperatives and all those things. But away from that, there are jobs that are being offered for people, and everyone, regardless of their political party affiliations, can do that. The major challenge that we have is people that are failing to seep into the programs of government. Because if the only way you thought you would benefit in UPND is occupying a bus station as a cadre, then it becomes a problem for you to understand what government tells you when they tell you to form companies. Because this is what our friends in other countries are doing. They are told, can you form companies? And there are funds that have been created under the office of the president. There are empowerment schemes under the office of the Special Assistant to the President for Economics, Jito Kayumba. There is a program where those that have got booths, those that do Airtel money operators, are being given money. So all these funds,
the ones whose booths were taken down?
Yes. This is a program that has started. They are given 5,000, 10,000. It's a revolving fund. So if you and me as citizens and as members of the party do not seep into this program, it becomes difficult. So what I'm saying, comrade, is that our encouragement to party members is that let us follow the programs of government as a legal way of getting money, as opposed to illegal flows. Because illegal flows of getting money have crumbled down the economy of this country. Here is another example. Intercity bus terminals, there was over 1 million kwacha per month that was going in the hands of cadres. But now what has happened is that because of prudency, because the government has said let the councils run the markets, that money is going to the councils. That is the reason why we had workers staying for so many months without being paid at the council, because revenue was not corrected properly. So we are following the normal ways of running government, and our members must follow that. That is the position of the party.
Mr. Matomola Likwanya, thank you so much for joining us on the Weekend Marathon today.
Thank you so much.
We'll be speaking with the Lusaka District Information Publicity Secretary, Matomola Likwanya, on all things the party within the Lusaka district, and recently what happened at within the Central Business District of Zambia, of Lusaka rather, and the hooliganism that was witnessed by suspected UPND cadres, and just getting the position of the Lusaka district from the UPND.